And we're live. So the 60s and 70s were a sexual time, right? When I was a kid, right? So I was a kid in like the 80s and 90s. I feel like I'm the last generation to legitimately believe their parents were like virgins when they married, that they behaved in high school. I didn't, if you went to school in the 50s, did you smoke pot in the 50s? I think mostly not, or not like now.
The devil's lettuce.
The 40s, the 30s, like I like alcohol was like the edge of misbehaving back in the day. Cigarettes, stuff like that. Now, like if you're growing up now,
it's more normalized.
If you're a teenager now, your parents like grew up in a time when sin was rampant.
Yeah. Teenagers now, man, they're exposed to so much sex. Like when I was a kid, to have pornography, I mean, you had to be a fucking detective. Like you had to have a hole in your backyard to bury it in. And first of all, it was a physical thing that you could hold. You know what I mean?
It's like pornography. Look
now, like there's no like jerking off to Victoria's Secret catalogs now. You know what I mean?
How did you come by your first porno mag, Wax?
First porno mag?
Did you buy it? Did you get it from a friend?
Was definitely got from a friend who got it from like their dad's secret stash or something, or their older brother or something like that. That's how I got like dirty rap albums. That's how I got pornography. That's how you got shit back then. Alcohol, you know what I mean? Somebody had an older brother who was cool, you know?
With the magazines, you had to you couldn't just go a flipping through burning all that material. You had to really be careful. Like, do I want to go to page 3? Because this is the foreseeable future right here. And maybe I could just finish with page 2 today. Because if you just get greedy right off the start and you look through the whole thing, then 2 weeks later, you're back where you started.
And then I felt like lesser masturbators didn't realize just how much content was in there. Like, maybe they don't realize it, but the phone sex operators in the back, they're hot too. There's more than just the 4 or 5 women that Hustler hired for this thing. There's hundreds of women in here if you look carefully.
Yeah, but like 11-year-old Taylor's bank account wasn't necessarily in a good enough spot to be calling sex workers.
Well, then you don't call them. No, just the ad. Yeah, like call me for a good time. Okay. That chick's topless. Hey, I don't know how much you need, but that's enough. Yep. So,
what was the one that you were all out of the traditional magazines, and so you had to go for one that might be like Better Homes and Gardens, or like The Good Housewife, or whatever the hell other one. Like you're in a tight spot. Was there one that you went to?
It wasn't anything like that, because I had found this VHS porno in an old wrecked car in a junkyard. It was called Give Me Head. And I still remember. And the tracking was all messed up, so you really had to adjust. And like, I would be opening it up and blowing the dust off of the film and then putting it back in and messing with the traction. And like large portions of the film were just a blur of like horizontal fuzzy lines and like green and purple waves, and then a big titty, like just one big titty, like an octopus eye, like floating in the top right corner. And you knew that there was some, and okay, she's on top. All right, now I'm with it. All right, I can get with this. Okay, and it would clear up a little more, and you'd see some bush, and you would get the job done though.
Dude,
so you were watching it with context clues.
It was educational.
Early in my marriage, I came home with this it was a VHS tape, and it was split down the middle. Half of it was pink, half of it was purple, and it was like how to please your man, how to please your woman, right? And it was early in our marriage, and I'm just like, hey, you know what? This seems like a good idea. It's not that we didn't know how to have sex or whatever, but I just thought we'd add more items to the menu, right? Dude, it was awful. It was like one of the tips. I remember this in particular. They're like, oh, have you tried fucking fruit? And then she cuts out the middle of a tomato, recommends that you microwave it so that it's the right temperature, and then like jack off your guy with the middle of the tomato. And my wife is looking at me like, and I'm like, no, that's a bad idea.
She's over there hollowing out a tomato, and you're like, whoa.
Woody, I've been doing the budget, and we're spending a huge amount at Whole Foods. You know?
Yeah, but
only organic, no pesticides.
And you're only eating a small cylinder of each bit of fruit? I don't understand.
Like when I hear somebody say like 4 things that I don't know about and one that's total bullshit, suddenly I call the other 4 into question. That's what happened with this tape. It was like, all right, so some of these tips, I don't know if she'll like them or not like them, but that tomato shit has ruined all your credibility. Because I'm open-minded, but I'm not a fruit fucker, really. Like it's not.
You gotta really be careful with the amount of time that you microwave it for, too. You know,
Yeah,
especially with a tomato. You know, like for example, with a cherry tomato, if it's too hot off the grill and you fucking explodes and just burns your entire mouth. With a regular tomato, if you microwave it too long, stick your dick in there.
I don't mean to brag, but cherry tomato would be too small for me. I don't know about you, small wax.
Right. I just use a little tiny drill bit.
Now, was that the only fruit-based sexual play that was in the tape, or on the other end of the tape, are they like putting condoms on cucumbers and like?
The fruit-based thing was bad, but like,
sex?
I remember when they were saying like how to finger a woman, they were like, it was like rough. It was like, yeah, don't be afraid, babies come from here. And I was just like, whoa, like I don't think that's good advice.
Oh, that is. I saw that same video. That's a good video. Is that the video where the guy is showing you how to make the girl squirt? And it's like a perfect woman, and she's laying completely nude on the table, and then like he like.
I actually think I have seen that, but that wasn't this video. I maybe just attributed that quote to this
phrase.
one.
Lots of times you hear, "Hey, this is where babies come from. Do what you gotta do." And like the guy's like just yanking up and down with this motion. Yeah, I've seen that one.
To him, making a girl squirt is you actually stick a cherry tomato in her vagina and she just
and step on her belly.